There we go.
Hey guys, what up? Happy Sunday. You guys hear me? Make sure you just comment and say everything sounds good and everything. We had I reset the internet today. I was having a problem with my like a green like something, and then my son figured out that it was the way that I have one of these dongles plugged in, so I had to go directly into it. So everything sounds good. Somebody just comment and say, "Hey man, sounds good" or whatever, and then we'll keep moving. Happy Sunday. So my better half is on her way to Vegas, and she's going to go and mess around in Vegas. So I'm going to be hanging out here for a couple days, taking care of the kids and hanging out with you guys. So thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Make sure that you check out the videos if you didn't get a chance to check them out. Let's see here. 1 second. Let me pull this up. Bang, bang. Make sure you check out the Nuno N4 video I did. Very interesting way to block the bridge on that. If you didn't see it, check it out, please. And because there's some good information in there. And then I did a video on the detuner, which I've done 2 guitars since I did that video setting up detuners, and I'm just swiping them with a file before they even go on. So it's just making, whether it's black, silver, gold, red, whatever, titanium. I've got one of those titaniums that wasn't functioning correctly, and I'm just pulling all these detuners out a little bit at a time, and just kind of knocking them around and seeing how they're functioning. So anyways, and again, if you're new to the channel, check out my channel. There's a lot of stuff on there. I was actually going through it the other day and going, man, there's a lot of stuff on there. So I hit it pretty hard when I first started it, and there's a lot of good stuff on there if you're like looking to set up your own stuff. I think I pretty much touched everything, and if I didn't hit anything, or if I didn't hit something, be sure to let me know in the notes, or you can email me. You can email me. Get off this here. You can email directly at 40 Grit Guitars. You can hit me up on that. Still getting emails. Got a couple emails about the detuners saying, yeah, it works, and thanks a lot. Appreciate it, because I guess people have detuners on their guitars and they're just leaving them not functioning correctly, or adjusting them as when you do activate it or deactivate it, whatever, or if you activate the drop D and you just fine tune. You shouldn't have to fine tune. It should be in and out, and it should be good. So anyways, take a file and watch the detuner video, and you can do that too. Okay. Check out my website, 40gritguitars.com, 40 Grit Guitars. I got some swag on there and stuff, and I'm gonna start putting some guitars on there. Was when my son was out, we actually went through guitars, and I got some stuff on there that I'd like to roll. So I'll probably start posting some guitars on there. So keep an eye on that website. And if you have any questions or anything, you can, like I said, you can hit me up at 40grit, 40gritguitars@gmail.com, which was this one right here. Okay. All right, man, let's jump in the chat. Let's see who's here. Happy Sunday, like I said. Chris, what's up, man? How you doing? Thanks for being here. Rodney Parker, always faithful. There he is. What's up, dude? How's it going? Oh, Cushman's here. What's up, bro? How you doing? Thanks for being here. Dan Gorman. Dan Gorman, what's up, dude? How's it going? Let's see here. Dan Cushman. That cool logo. Thanks, man. Yeah. Appreciate it. Hey, Randy Price, what up, dude? How's it going? You guys cut it short last night. I got home from work and I was going to go in and watch you guys for a minute, and you guys were gone already. So must have been an early night. I'm not sure. Were you there last night? I don't even know if you were there when I went on there. I don't think I saw you on there. So I mean, maybe you weren't even there last night. Maybe you weren't even there. Yeah. What up, dude? See, Cushman. See who else is in the Tim Thomas? What's up, man? Tim, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Frank C, what's up, man? Happy Sunday, 40 grit. Yeah, happy Sunday. I don't do Sundays very often, but Sundays are pretty. Sundays are super laxed around this house. So you know, it's nice to just sit in here and talk guitar stuff for a little bit. Let's see here. Oh, Metal Cop, what up, dude? How's it going? Saw some of your videos from your vacation. I think you're on vacation or something. So, anyways, yeah, man, nice family, good looking family there, sir. Saw your Steve Vai guitar video too, and I think you were working on a Van Halen. I browse through that every once in a while through a YouTube and see what you guys are doing. When I got a minute at work, I'll just flip through something. But yeah, I see everybody's stuff going on. So. Zach Thong, what's up, man? Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Thanks for being here. I'll get into some stuff here in a second. Let's do a quick say hello to everybody, and then we'll start talking about some guitar shit. I think I hit everybody. Oh, Mr. BHB, what's up, man? How's it going? That's a cool guitar. What is that? That's a EVH on your avatar there. EVH. Hey, what's up, dude? Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. So, anyways, yeah, just was picked up a Washburn or a Nuno, Washburn Nuno. I picked up the N4, and then I started watching videos about the 4N and the differences, and I said, well, maybe I'll pick up one of those 4Ns too, just to check it out. And I got to tell you, I think I'm a lot more happy with the 4N. I like the neck on the 4N better. It's got more there's a little more meat on the back, more C-shaped. Just like the 4N better. This is interesting though. I'm not going to go into where I bought it from, but I bought it. It's got some decent Birdseye on the back too. Birdseye's a contaminated what? What happened here? Let's see here. Did my internet just cut out? Because my screen shut off. So I got this guitar. I won't say where I got it from, but I wanted to try out the neck and I wanted to try it out. So anyways, I got it set up and everything, and it's set up really good. With the exception of the bridge. These are very odd, like to change angle on and stuff. I don't really know if I even want to mess with it. But if I were to use a detuner on this guitar, I'm gonna have to change the neck angle. It's got the cool Floyd blocking, which I think is really neat because it's quick to unblock it if you want to float it. But then you're gonna have to adjust your string tension on the back. But they're cool guitars. I did want to try the neck, and I'm very impressed with the neck. So anyways, like I said, so check out this. So I got the guitar. And I bought it, and I called the guy. I go, hey, man, because I had called him a couple times, see if I could, kind of work salesman magic on him, and it worked. The second time, and I said, all right, man, let me think on it, because I was just kind of like, I just say, I wrestle with it now. Do I really need it? Do I? Don't I? And then and then my better half always says, just get it, because and I'm like, okay. So I kind of had approval, and then I ended up pulling the trigger on it. So I call them and I go, hey, so when's it going to ship? And they go, well, I bought it on a Saturday. And I said, when's it going to ship? It'll ship on Monday. Okay, cool. I said, very important that I get it, because I'm going to be off that couple days. So it'll get here like on Wednesday. They're like, yeah, it'll get there Wednesday. I said, okay, cool. So got it and pulled it out, and I started checking out I felt the neck, and I was like, yeah, it feels great. I'm good with the neck. Made sure it had the stopper on there for the Floyd, which I thought was awesome. took a look at where the Floyd was sitting. It was sitting kind of in the cavity, which is not something I'm fond of. But I was like, okay, well, and then you have the neck angle problem. So I was like, all right, well, maybe I just won't put a detuner on it. Let's go set it up and check it out. So, but when the guy said, he said, well, we can't ship today. It's Saturday because my techs have to take a look at it real quick and make sure that everything's cool. So it was, I was like, hey, man, don't sweat it. Just go ahead and throw it in the case. And no, you're going to want our techs to take a look at it before it ships. And I said, well, dude, I said, I'm going to tear apart anything you guys do anyway. So just go ahead and just ship it. So they shipped it, and I got it, and I pulled it out, and everything looked okay. Right. So then I usually let them sit for a couple of days, brought in, let it acclimate in the humidity. Cause like I said, I keep humidity in here in this room cause it's Arizona, it's dry. So it did come from California. So it's I never had to have a humidifier when I was living in California, but so I let it sit, pulled it out on the bench. And these four ends have a Kaler nut. They have a Kaler nut on the end. Supposedly that's to accommodate for the height of the fretboard, because I guess the fretboard's thinner on the four ends than they are on the N4s. Okay, I guess the N4 is officially retired. And N4 was the Porno Graffiti guitar. If you don't, if you're not a Nuno guy, but you should, even if you're not a Nuno guy, you should know Porno Graffiti. So the Kaler nut, I go and I set it up. I dial everything in. I change the strings. I dial everything in. I pull 3 springs off. I get the Floyd stopper right there. I got everything dialed in, and I see the Floyd Rose sitting in, and I go to check and it's sitting high. I'm going, man, why won't the action adjust? And then I'm playing it, it feels like super high in the low register, and I'm like, what is going on? So I go check the nut, and I'm good. A mile off the fretboard on the high E. So I'm going, what is going on here? So I started looking at it, and I pull all the nut blocks out, and I'm looking at the nut, and I see that the high E string is sitting a mile off the nut. And I'm looking at it. I pull my goggles out, and I'm looking at it. Everything looks right, and I'm going, something's just not right. So I get frustrated, and I bring it back in, and I put it back in the case, and then I start troubleshooting, in my head. Okay, and I go directly to, wait a minute, that nut's cast. So, I'm like, I'm thinking, okay. So I said, okay, let's take it back out. So I go back out. I put slack on the high E. I look inside the nut. I pull out a nut. So you don't want to, sometimes you have to file a Floyd nut. Sometimes I had to do it. I've had to do it a couple times just because something doesn't feel right. It's more feel for me than it is, it's more of a feel thing than it is like numbers or anything like that. And, but you usually don't have to, for sitars and stuff, you usually don't have to file a whole bunch. You can just, like I showed in one of the videos I did recently, I think it was the detuner video. You just glide that file over, and you'll feel where the file's catching, and then just like focus on that for like 30 seconds and get it. And it's going to come off because they're cast and then they're plated. Right. So I'm going, okay, it's cast. So there's no way. And then I start frantically looking for Kaler nuts. I'm going, and you can't find them. I'm like, where in the hell am I going to find this nut? Because I guess they did start redoing. They're making those old Kaler bridges again, but I found one. I think it was like $75, and I go, man, I really don't want to dump $75 into a nut. I go out there and I take the slack off the high E, and I start looking at it, and I go, kidding me? So I take a razor blade and I stick it on the angle of the V, the V inside the slot. I push it, and I pushed as hard as I could. Just pushed as hard as I could with that razor blade. Ting! And you hear this, and you see a big piece fly off. And I go, "Are you kidding me?" And then I put the string back in. Perfect. So, anyways, the excellent setup job by people, whoever set this, it probably took a look at that's why I say to you guys all the time, just don't buy. I don't even know why I do it. Just don't buy new shit, man. I mean, if you're gonna buy something, just go to the store, check it out, and buy the one that you want to play, because there's always going to be something. So, anyways, I don't know what the hell it was, but I was taking a file and I was going through the nut, trying to see if it was cutting, and nothing's cutting. I have no idea what it was, but I looked in there and the plating was consistent. It wasn't that the nut wasn't cast correctly, but there's something in there extremely hard that that nut was riding on, and I have no idea. Polishing, I can't think it was polishing compound. I don't know what the hell it was, but it tinged off and it flew off somewhere in the garage. So yeah, that's my Washburn 4N story. But the nut dialed right back in. I did have to file the nut shelf a little bit because it was a little high after I got no, I didn't. I had to add. I added some shims under it. So anyway, string alignment's good on it. I might do a video on it, but it's kind of repetitive from the 4N. Same guitar, just there's just a little more meat on the back. So little more meat on the back. So let me jump back in here and see what everybody's doing. So yeah, that was the 4N story, which I thought was, I was like, here we go again. We went around 3 hours, cut at midnight my time, so midnight your time, so that was 9. So yeah, that makes sense. I came in and sat down and was just like breezing through stuff, and actually stumbled on the Johnny Bean popped up in my feed last night, and they were working on Floyd Roses, so I sat there and watched that for a bit, and they asked about someone asked about those shims on the Floyd Rose, the shim that gives more support to the tension plate, and because everybody's most people are fond of taking those shims out. I know FU Tone kind of preaches that, put a bigger block on the back which supports taking that shim out. But what that shim's for is to provide stability to the tension plate. So if you leave the smaller block in there, that tension plate is going to get really loose. So usually it's just better to throw a bigger block in there and then get, and then dump that shim. But I know a guy named Robbie Stingle that really likes those shims. So if you do take the shims out, send them to Robbie. And I should probably send some to Robbie because I've got a ton of them out there. So Zach Thong's here, Dan Gorman talking. See here. Yeah, EVH Bumblebee. Yeah, cool, man. Right on. Cool car, or cool guitar. Metal Cop says, "Yeah, built a Mean Greenie, Van Halen 2, and a Jeff Beck." I saw that telly you were doing. Yeah, looks cool. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I will, because I have nothing to do once I'm done with you guys, but to go run a couple errands, and I'm gonna come home and hang out. So, anyways, that's that on the Nuno. It's a cool guitar. I got the N4 too. Maybe I'll do a video comparison. But yeah, I was very frustrated with this nut. But yeah, luckily for me, I know a guy that can fix it. So. All right, let's get. Okay, so Metal Cop says, "Yeah, built a. Yeah, I saw that. It's cool, man. Very cool. Very cool." Mr. BHB says, "Randy, good show last night. Just watched the replay. I'll watch that. That'll probably be on my list today to go through stuff." Rico B, what's up, dude? How you doing, man? How's your satchel doing? I see it there in your in your avatar. I love my satchel. I just don't have it out. It's in the closet. I got too much stuff. I had too much nonsense going on here. Okay, everybody's talking back and forth. How wide are those Nuno nets? It's 1 and 11/16. It's like a 1 and 11/16. So the N4 is a lot thinner, and like I said, that forend is a little thicker, and the I like the thickness of the forend. But I've been watching those what's that? The Master Shred or that Master Shred guy. That guy's pretty cool, man. And he can play too. But he does some cool videos. Check him out. I don't know what maybe I'll put it in the in the comments, but uh or in the description of the live. He's cool cat. There's a really good video of him and Nuno and the guy who builds the Nunos, and I've watched it a couple times now because it seems like I always miss something. But yeah, they were talking about the differences in the N4 and the forend, and that's what that stuff's for, is to grab you and make you want that stuff, and then you go and buy it. And I'm that dumbass, because really I was thinking about it this morning. Ed's gone. We can we can listen to Ed, and I miss him and all that good stuff. But I mean, who's really carrying the torch right now? In my world, for me personally, Nuno's carrying the torch right now for me personally. George is kind of all over the place. I think he's got a new band now, and he's cool with everything. Warren is hit and miss. Warren will show up every once in a while. Speaking of which, let's get this going here. Speaking of which, I saw this the other day. Share this. I thought that was cool. I got kind of jazzed for a second. Pull that off here. Hold on a second. I got kind of jazzed for a second because I thought that Nuno had listened to me, or Warren had listened to me with regards to adding a new guitar to the. This is in my Instagram feed. I got jazzed the other day thinking that Warren had added a third guitar because he's playing that French guitar, and then he's that red French guitar, and then he's got the Cross Swords original. And I was saying he needs to add a third guitar, because that first show at the back east at the M3 festival, he blew a string and went over, and they had to dial everything back in because he's in drop D. And Warren doesn't use detuners. We actually, my buddy and I were backstage with him in the Galaxy Theater in LA, and we're talking to him about he goes, what is it? And like we were talking to him, and he goes, no, man. He goes, I just tune the fine tuner up and then drop it that way. It's just that's what I know. But he certainly needed to add a third guitar to the arsenal. So I saw this and I got kind of jazzed. I was like, oh, cool, man. Warren's sitting there, and he's and he's got somebody there, and that's not what it was at all. After I started, I was like, wait a minute. The headstock, it's a pro mod. So there's no way Warren's playing a pro mod. So anyways, that's probably some cat. I don't know who that cat is, but it's probably just some guy who has a pro mod and wanted to hang out with Warren and have him sign it or something. But anyways, I that kind of, hopefully Warren throws his performance back in, because I'd like to see their performance in action again, at least one more time. We're going to see him at the end of the month out here in Anaheim. So hopefully something cool goes down with that. You jump back in here and see what you guys are talking about. Yeah, I'm not going to say, because I was just kind of bagging on them for their terrible setup. But I mean, like, at the end of the day, no, that's terrible, because whoever the tech was saw that the nut was a mile high on the high E string and looked at it and said, ship it, and then some kid gets it, and he's like, man, why is the nut so high? And then plays it that way for 20 years, and then takes it to a capable tech one day, and the capable tech, pulls out a razor blade and jams that piece out, whatever the hell it was. And then the 20 years later, the kid realizes that my guitar could have played better the whole time. So yeah, I'm not gonna share it, but yeah, whatever. Sounds like they care about their QA. Yeah, it's a problem, bro. It's a big problem. I wrestle with that all the time. If I really wanted to go get a brick and mortar store and start a store, I probably could. Think about it all the time. Do a brick and mortar, have the front of the store. I think about this all the time. Brick and mortar, front of the store, cheap stuff. Anybody comes in, smash and grab. Take the cheap shit. Put stick a boutique room in the back. Have good stuff in the back, and then like in the middle of it, have like my repair stuff. Have like repair stuff. So if anybody goes to run out with anything, I got them. But I think about it all the time. I wish I could, because I definitely know capable people that I could call immediately and go, hey man, I'm jumping in. You want to come? Let's not. Don't come work for me. Let's work together, and let's make a badass shop. Because I know that my shop will be badass. But I just don't think. I think the brick and mortar thing's over. I think it's over. You're better off having a shop on OfferUp or Craigslist or something. I mean, it's just better off. You're better off doing it that way, and then trying to fucking find something. Find Frank C. Yeah, Shirley was something. There was something in there. But see, here's where I wrestle with that. What was it? Because it was cast, and they don't come out. They don't come out with that. I mean, they gotta, I'm sure they clean them up and I don't know. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I just thought that I thought that it was interesting. So, Jimmy Biter, what's up, dude? How you doing, man? Appreciate you being here. R2, R3, Sunday afternoon in the park. What's up? Yeah, man. Sunday afternoon in the park. Cool tune. Dan Gorman. Cut the replay. Randy. I took it out on the Floyd and got the Floyd I got from you. But okay, so you put a you took a shim out. Okay, I'm kind of behind in the chat. I've been talking, so now I understand. You took that out, but you put it. Yeah, well, that makes sense, man. Like if you put those big blocks in there, you're good, because the bigger block is thicker and it's going to support the tension plate. If you go to put the smaller block back on there, you're going to lose tension on that tension plate, and then your fine tuners aren't going to be as good, as reliable as they should be. So yeah, I mean, if you're going to take that shim out, you got to put a bigger block in there and make sure everything's good like that. So let's go. John Gregory, Munster, Indiana. Hope all is well, fellow rockers, and I hope you're all doing well today. Welcome, sir. Thanks for being here. Munster, Indiana, Midwest. Yeah, my grandparents lived in Indianapolis, so very familiar with going down to Indiana. I was just watching something the other day. Or no, my sister texted me and we were talking about my grandparents' house, and we pulled it up on Google Maps and looked at it, and it still looks great, and great memories. Yeah, I saw something the other day. It says that you go through life longing for a place that doesn't even exist anymore. And it's true, because like the thing that I think about is I like to go back to my basement in Detroit. And we had it refinished and stuff, and I like to go and just go hang out and play guitars and stuff like we used to. And that place doesn't even exist anymore. It's somebody else's house. So yeah, funny, interesting how life is. Rico B, love my satchel. Play it almost daily. Thanks again for your pot. But yeah, man, that's a cool swap, man. I was sitting there one day and I was like, man, this pickup sucks. And I was like, I love the up position, but I don't like the down position. I go, wait a minute. I wonder if I could just swap the wire. And then I just swapped the wire, and it turned out well. So yeah, that's a good one. Sean Hockey, what's up, dude? How's it going? Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. What else? I had other stuff to talk about. Okay. Let's see here. 40 grit, did you say? No, I did not. That popped up in my feed this morning, and I got off of it because I was going to watch something else. So I'm working on a Paul Gilbert. I'm working on 2 solos right now. I'm working on Rest in Peace Extreme, which I almost have, and then I'm working on a lick. It's Mr. Big. It's I'm not gonna say what I'm working on, but I'm working on a Mr. Big lick too. So when she left this morning, I went and grabbed my guitar and went out in the living room and was sitting there working on those two songs. So I'm working on Rest in Peace, and I almost have that solo is easier than what I thought it was. So sometimes you listen to something and you think it's sometimes you listen to something and you think it's difficult, and it's really not as difficult as you think it is. So kind of cool. So yeah, I will watch that today. I'm gonna watch that today. I'm gonna watch a guy at work turned me on to Tulsa King. So I watched season 1 the other day of that, and I have season 2 to watch. I kind of started season 2 last night, and it didn't catch me, so I got off it. And I watched some. Oh, and then I like I said, I was just flipping through YouTube channels for the rest of the time. I got off of Tulsa King. I'll probably go out there and give another shot today. I'm going to watch that new Mission Impossible today. My girl's not a big movie fan, so it's difficult to try to watch stuff. So when she goes and does her thing, I'm going to go do my thing, which is catch up on movies. The new Mission Impossible I've heard is awesome, so I guess you can rent it now. So I'm going to rent that. And then I'm going to jump back into Tulsa King, and then I am going to go watch that. Was it good? Let me know what you thought. I mean, is it worth watching? Because if it's not worth watching, just say, yeah, let's not watch that. So let me know. Save myself some time today. Rico B says, agree. Nuno is leading the party. His Sabbath concert playing was epic, right, man? I mean, like, he's just on it right now. And for just lack of my buddy got on me not too long ago because he was saying, God, I just love Nuno. And I go, dude, I watched a Nuno interview with Nuno the other day. And he just kind of acting like weird, man. And I go, I don't know about that cat, because everybody started, and I think that video was around COVID time. And I just think that everybody got a little weird during COVID time. So I gave him another shot, and then I got back into him again. So, and I brought John on, his tech. If you haven't seen that, that was awesome. Talking to John about, the Nuno and the DeMartini stuff. And I really got back into him again. So yeah, Nuno is leading the pack and is playing at the Ozzy at the Sabbath Back to the Beginning concert. Was fantastic. And yeah, it was freaking awesome. So it was cool to see Jakey Lee. It was cool to see Nuno. I really didn't watch much else. I didn't even watch the Black Sabbath stuff because I just don't care. I like those songs, but it's not something I just wanted to. I think I watched a little bit of the Ozzy stuff, but which also, I was looking at Zakk Wylde's the other day, right? Gibson Zakk Wylde's. I mean, they're $9-10 now for that guitar. My buddy in California had one, and I text him. I go, hey, bro, do you still have your Zakk? And he goes, nah, man, I sold it. And I go, oh my God, that guitar played great. He's like, yeah, I regret it. I shouldn't have sold it, blah, blah, blah. And he also sold his Van Halen Ernie Ball, but he still has his Universe, his original green Loch Ness green Universe. And he still got his Floral. And I've got that. That's one of the original year Florals, like an 88. And I stumbled on that thing, man. But he had one of those, and I always wanted one. So yeah, I happened to stumble on one. But I was looking at the Zakk Wylde's the other day. Be cool to have one of those. I'm not going to pay it, but my vision of Zakk Wylde is the Miracle Man video. The Zakk Wylde, the Zakk Wylde as of now, the Mountain Man with the beard and everything, that's just not my thing. But when you go back and you watch the Miracle Man video, that's Zakk Wylde in my world. That's Zakk Wylde. So see here, Nuno was the hero of the back. Oh, of course, yeah, man. I mean, yeah. I agree. I agree 100%. 100%. Felt bad for Jake. You could tell. Yeah. I mean, like, who's the dumbass guitar tech that did that? Somebody needs to slap him across the face. You have a legend going out on stage. And you're the guitar tech, and you mess that up. Just slap me. He deserves a slap across the face and then walk away. Everybody saying what up? Rico B, Randy agree 100%. Yes, I agree. I agree 100% as well. Darren, what's up, dude? What is up? Darren, what state are you in? I forgot it. I forgot where you're at. I think you're like Midwest, but be cool to catch a rat show. Took a detour off the Bumblebee. German Floyd Rose is solid. Took the detuner off the Bumblebee. All right. German Floyd Rose is solid. Yeah, all the old Floyds are great. Hey, and now I've got a bunch of those. Every time StewMac does their 20% off, I buy a Floyd just for the hell of it. But now I have to stop because I have way too many under there. But it's always good to have stuff like that because I know the prices of all that stuff is going to shoot up, and it's just good to have. It's good to have that stuff. So, let's see here. I pulled this one out the other day. This is a one of the ones I built when I was off of work, and I was going after Ed's prototype Wolfgang. Number 4 was the one that they picked, and had the overspray on it and everything. And painting flat isn't the easiest thing in the world because it usually gets messed up. If it's not even, and you get like darker patches and everything. But man, this thing turned out freaking amazing. 42 millimeter block, 2 springs, Warmoth neck. It's a boat neck. I like that V, that big fat neck on these things. My Floyd Rose, German Floyd Rose detuner functions perfectly. I just was playing this guitar this morning, and the detuner functions perfectly. I was sanding these out instead of filing them out. It would take me forever to get them right, and now it takes me 2 seconds. Wolfgang pickup, USA Wolfgang pickup, low friction, and the MXR knob. This one has a 1 5/8 nut. I got the 1 5/8 on this one, and then I have 1 11/16 on the green one. That green guitar I play all the time. But I wanted to try different nut sizes to see, and yeah, I like 1 11/16 better. Not that 1 5/8 is bad. It just seems like with the fatter neck, I want a wider nut. But yeah, this thing plays freaking great. I got this out the other day. Cool guitar. It's got the FU Tone PMS system in it too. I can see it. I put in there. Titanium lock blocks. Good. Cool guitar. Let's see. Bradley Wood, what's up, dude? I just used the fine tuner for drop D2. The detuner is just one more thing to cause a problem if you don't get it to place just right. You're correct. So, but you can make the detuner function 100% correctly if you watch the video that I did. And once you get them functioning correctly, all your frustration is gone, and bang, it works perfect. So, yeah. I do agree with you. There's been like on that 4N, I'm gonna have to. I am not messing with the neck angle on the 4N because it's that weird Stevens cutaway, and it's gonna lift out. If I change the neck angle, you're gonna feel it. And I'm just not messing with it. So I got plenty of guitars to go to play a guitar with a detuner on. So that's just the way it goes. I kind of ditched the T-tuners. My main 3 are tuned to, you know what? Those Tone Vice, I know we were talking about those. Those things are useless. Do not waste your money on those things. They're terrible because once you engage or disengage, whatever, your fine tuners like null and void. So the only real option to have a drop D thing is going to be the detuner. I messed with that thing. It took me, and then of course it just wasn't right because they played it, and it doesn't function correctly. At least with a detuner, you can kind of mess with it and get it playing right. But yeah, I mean you can just go back to the old school. I mean that's what we did when we were in high school. we just put the fine tuner all the way down, and then came up a little bit, so you had a little bit of wiggle room there, and then and then you dropped it and then put it right back up. That's how Warren does it. So you don't see no detuners on Warren's guitars. I took all my detuners off my Warren guitars just because I felt like I was doing them wrong by having them on there. I took them all off all my Warrens. So yeah. You having a store would be awesome. But I think about it all the time. All the time I think about doing that. Going to work, 11 o'clock, 11 to 6 every day. Sit there and but I would have it be like Zims. That's why I like going to Zims, because Zims reminds me of Dr. Guitar in Detroit. When I was in Detroit, there was Dr. Guitar. And we all went to Dr. Guitar and hung out. And they're just a bunch of kids, 17, 18-year-old kids sitting around playing dock and licks and sitting around. And then Ralph, he was the owner. He would just sit there and just talk to us. So you stand behind the counter and just talk to us. And Ralph was so cool. He would just sit there and let us play guitars. And we could play any guitar we wanted to in there. He had a blue Charvel that I wish I remember playing it. He said, that one's for my collection. And I was like, dude, I should have bought that guitar. That's kind of why I bought that Lake Placid blue Fender. I think it's in the case back there. Oh, that's why I bought that Lake Placid blue, because it just looked like the Charvel from, it didn't have a pickguard on it, but it looked like the Charvel from Dr. Guitar. Yeah, man. Think about it all the time. All the time. And I got the guys I could call. Hey, dude, like I got perfect guys that are perfect at one thing, And well, no, I know one guy who I would totally recruit. Chris. I'm not going to say where he is, but I would recruit Chris because he could do it all. Chris was a badass. I get Chris. I hit the lotto, I'm going to do it. I just buy people out. Say, come on, man, let's go. I don't know if I'd focus as much on retail, on new stuff, as much as I would focus on used. It would be a used shop. I wouldn't, Dane's, I think Dane's got to figure it out. Dane's got to figure it out. He's not doing any kind of brand or anything. Stay away from it. Do 100% pre-owned. Snag the guitars from people. Why am I coughing? Snag the guitars from people, fix them, get them playing really good, and then get a name for yourself in town. Because, hey, all the guitar shops I go around here, there's not one where I'm sitting there going, oh my God, this is awesome. I would have the guitar shop where when people came in, everything was 100% perfect to play. Everything would be set up perfectly, but they would pay extra for that. They would pay more for my guitars because it's already done, instead of going to a shop where you're buying something and you don't know how to set a guitar up and you're sitting there putting more money into it. I'd be sitting there, my Shiat would be set up right. Hey, Lewis, what's up, man? How you doing? Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you being here. Bradley Wood, I've got a Tone Vice pitch shifter on one of them, but has limitations too. You can use a fine tuner when in D, but not in E. Correct. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, those things are. Anybody's looking for a Tone Vice, let me know. I got a couple out there on the bench. Cool Maple Neck. Say Cool Maple Neck. I like the logo. Yeah, man. I got those. I got those made. I thought that was kind of a cool idea. Put my own logos on the guitars I built. So this one didn't have a logo on it because Ed's number 4 Wolfgang, his prototype didn't have a logo on it or nothing. It was just a maple headstock. So that's why I kind of left it like that. But I got my logos made and I said, okay, I'm going to put one on there. But then what I did is I was thinking about it because I was like, okay, so I built these guitars. God, this one just plays freaking amazing. And I got these logos made, and I was like, oh man, but it looks too it looks too cool with the Charvel logo on it, right? So I was like, well, what am I gonna do? Because I've told you guys before that I like putting on the back of the headstock what pickups in it, right? So what I did is I put the back of the pickup on the plate, which kind of makes sense. My buddy Harry does that. So, you know, you got to open that up and then you know what pickups in it, which kind of makes sense. So I just say, oh, this one's got an RTM in it, and it's got a Air Norton in the neck, right? But what I did is I took the sticker off the back and then I put my 40 grit logo on the back of the headstock. So I think that looks cool. That looks cool. So when I'm dead and gone, my kid will know what guitars I did. You know what I'm saying? And they all play better than the ones that I bought. So let's see here. I got this one done. Had the Area 67 in it. I put an Air Norton in this one. Oh my God. Randy. Anybody's looking for an Area 67, let me know. Yeah, it totally, this Air Norton woke this guitar up. This guitar was sleeping. Like playing it, it sounded great on the JB. I'd swap over, and the Area 67 sounded like crap. I got the Air Norton, but thanks to the United Postal Service, it took 30 days to get it from Banjo Mike. Not Banjo Mike's fault whatsoever. And hey, if you're gonna buy DiMarzio stuff, buy it from Banjo Mike. Yeah, thanks to the United States Postal Service, it went from Pennsylvania, bypassed Arizona, went to LA, went to San Diego, went back to Connecticut, went to and then finally got to Phoenix. And then once it got to Phoenix, it sat here forever saying, and then I got a thing saying on the tracking that there's a problem. And then like probably 4 days later, I finally got it. So yeah, USPS sucks, man. So USPS sucks. You know, you could do a million great things. You do one bad thing, it's over, man. It's over. See, this guitar feels tight, but my fingers hurt because I was out there playing this morning, and I don't play like I used to. And I go out there and I start attacking a Paul Gilbert with bends and doing all kinds of nonsense, and my fingertips are on fire today. So, not a good time to gauge the playability of a guitar at all. The weird thing is the detuner works great with the Godo. Probably does, but I don't know. Yeah, that Axis has the, yeah. Yeah, I don't have any problems with that thing. I love those Axis, man. I mean, that guitar is great. I got that guitar. I think I got that guitar for $1,100 in San Diego. Some kid on Craigslist. I called my kid and said, "Hey, bro, go grab that." And then when I went out there to visit, I got it back. Or I brought it home. So yeah. Yeah, I feel bad for the people. That's why I like doing videos like that, because I feel bad for the people that don't know how to. Yeah, I mean, you know, some of us, we just figure it out. But there's guys that have detuners on their guitars for sure that aren't even functioning, and they go to use it, and then they're like, "Man, this thing isn't working. What do I do?" You know. So, anyways, just trying to help people out. You know what I'm saying? Dan Gorman, say hello to Lewis. Randy Price says R2, R3 makes sense when you think about it. Ed was using the Godo Music Man bridge to the Proto. Yes. Yeah. And the only reason that Ed used the Godo is because he couldn't get Floyd Rose because they were still the Fender. Fender had the because he would have used the Floyd Rose, he just couldn't get them. So they had to go with Godo. In 91. Warren needs Grecian formula for men. That's not fair. Come on, man. What's there not to love about that guy? He is so cool. Every time I've met Warren, He was super cool, super nice, very like putting up with your nonsense of, running into a rock star. And he was just always really cool. Every time I met the guy, he's been very nice and cool. I mean, Lynch has too. Surprisingly enough, the I mean, Ed 2 or 3 times, but 2 times. Hey, I think it was twice. The 2 times I met Ed, he was grumpy. So, but makes sense because he just didn't like. I don't think he liked doing NAMM show and wasn't too happy about stuff. So, in a public environment, he didn't like being in the public. I don't think. Warren needs Grecian formula for men, but see here, but I do too. Good for you, man. Good for you. He's cool, man. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him. I was going to take my I was thinking about taking the performance out there with me because I got 2 of them. Think about taking one out there with me and just like seeing if I could get him to sign it. But man, I don't know if he'd sign it. Warren got really weird with me in like 91 or 92. I had a Paul Dean Kramer and I took it down to the Rat Show to have him sign it because I had it signed. It was already signed by Lynch. My buddy had Lynch sign it. It was signed by a bunch of rock stars. And I went down to have Warren sign it, and he wouldn't sign it. He just put WD on the back of the headstock, and he didn't want to sign the Kramer. So I just don't think that he's going to sign that performance, especially with him not using that guitar. I think there's probably something going on with him and Charvel, to where they're like, "Hey, man, you can't do that." So. Bradley Wood. Hurry up and buy one of those Edwards Purple Tigers. You can tell me how much the import fees are. Yeah, man, right? Sweetheart, if you're listening, let me know if it's okay if I buy one of those Edwards Purple Tigers so I can let everybody know what the fees are. I can't do any more guitars, man. I don't have any freaking room. I mean, like, and these damn like music stores, they are trying to get rid of stuff because nobody's buying anything. They're just and they send out deals, and you're like, oh man, I gotta take advantage of the deal, right? But yeah, I don't know if I can justify that having the Purple Tiger already. I just like that natural headstock with the non-inverted headstock, natural and non-inverted. That's how I remember Lynch at the Pontiac Silverdome in 1988 when I was there for Monsters of Rock. That's how I remember Lynch, with those spandex patch pants on and no shirt on and a tiger, with those purple tigers. Coolest getup ever. Coolest getup ever. I'm white and German, by the way, Mr. Black. Oh, good for you. Welcome. I haven't seen you in here before, dude. Welcome. I'm not a golfer, but Stick on Apple TV is great. I haven't. I'm not. I don't watch a bunch of stuff, but like I said, my buddy hit me up with or I won't say my buddy. My there's a guy at work that told me that Tulsa King was good, and so I started watching it, and the first season was really good. And then I started, like I said, I tried to watch it last night. So if you guys watch Tulsa King, just tell me if season 2 gets better, because I don't know. It seems like it's kind of flat right now. And I'm also having a hard time with his daughter, because his daughter's that chick from New Day USA that was plastered all over the TV during COVID, talking about refinancing your house and stuff. And I just can't. I can't relate that. Zach's a great guitarist, but he gets carried away with the pinch harmonics. Yeah. That's his thing, man. You always know it's Zach Wild. Just like you always knew it was Ed, or you always knew it was whoever. You know, that's the beauty of it. Throwing those throwing those pinch harmonics all over the place. It's funny. Hey Ruben, man, hello from Italy. That's cool. Welcome in. That's neat. I figured I was going to get some people I figured I was going to get some different people today with the time frame with the 10 o'clock time frame. That's cool. Welcome in, dude. Welcome in. What you play guitar? What's your number one guitar? Let me know. 40, thinking about getting rid of my FU Tone Strat. Have you dealt with Bizarre Guitar for trades? Bizarre Guitar in uh Phoenix? Yeah. Yeah. Not trades. I'm not gonna nah, dude. If you're gonna sell that guitar, put I get so confused. So I think so then I think you're talking about Bizarre Guitar Phoenix, which I think you're local here. Um Bizarre Guitar is known by is co-owned by Greg Chason from Badlands, a bass player from Badlands. So if you go in there, uh tell him that I sent you. I sold his daughter a car when I was a Ford. And he came in and he sat in the sales tower for an hour talking about Badlands stuff. It was so awesome. Uh, nice guy, Greg Chason, nice guy. Seems gruff when he seems gruff when you talk to him, in my opinion. But I think he's kind of known for that. You know, the guy was Rob Halford's bodyguard. He was in the business. He was in the bodyguard business before he started getting into the music business. So the guy's kind of a tough guy. And but yeah, every time I've gone in there, they're super cool. But I mean, if I was going to sell that guitar, a FU Tone Strat, I may put feelers out, look online to people that are looking for one of those because they're great guitars, first of all. And to be honest with you, you should everybody in the chat, if you're looking for one of those FU tones, Rico will probably make you a deal on it, and then you wouldn't have to buy it and pay a bunch of taxes on stuff, and then you can get a good deal on one of those because those are what color is it? Those FU tone guitars are great. I love my black one. I did have to gut it though. Like I had some wiring problems on that guitar, and I opened up the cavity, and it was just a mess of wires, like very uh just for me personally, I shouldn't say that. If for me personally, the wiring should have been done a little bit better. So I gutted the entire wiring and redid it, and that's a great guitar. Great guitar. Great playing guitar. Those FU tones are good guitars. Mr. Black says, does a brass block better without the tension plate? I love your channel and advice. Hail 40 grit. Does a brass block better without okay, so you don't have to use a tension plate if you're putting a big brass block on there because the brass block is just as big as that shim. So take the shim out, put the FU tone, Adam Reaver. He's got videos on that stuff. So but yeah, if you're putting the big brass block on there, it's going to support just as the shim does. So you don't need to double up. And so that should help you with regards to actually how the bridge is going to be sitting on the guitar. Getting rid of that tension plate is going to help you in a lot of ways. So yes, in my opinion, if you have put a brass block on a Floyd, take that shim out, and your tension plate will run the same with that gone. I think your tension plate may be a little looser. The tension on the plate to where when you're turning your fine tuners, you could relieve some tension there by getting rid of that shim, putting a bigger block in the back. So yeah, I think that's what your question is. If it isn't, let me know that's wrong and tell me what. Oh, does it sound different? Does a brass block sound better without I don't know. I mm, I have a way that I like doing my guitars, but on those Nunos I plugged in and they sound good too. So I like brass blocks. I like putting the big brass blocks in. This one's got a 42. I like them. I'm sure there's something there. I like them. But I also don't want to say, yes, it's 100% sounds different and blah, blah, blah. And then somebody says, no, it doesn't. So I have a tone that I like. And the tone that I like includes a brass block. Is it the brass block? I don't know. But I know that I throw brass blocks in every guitar I do. You know, I look at it and see how the bridge is going to be riding, and then I guesstimate what block am I going to use. Like on this one, I surely could have gotten away with a 43 because look how much meat I got there, you know. But that does add a lot of weight. Not a lot, but it adds some weight. And sometimes I like an 8-pound guitar, and it seems like sometimes I'll get guitars and they're kind of light, and I'll throw a brass block in there and that kind of evens it out. Like my EVH Frankenstein. Is that it? Yeah, that Frankenstein right there, that EVH. Right there. I put I got that guitar, it was kind of light. I put a brass block in it and it's way better now. Way better. So sound, I don't know, buddy. Maybe. I don't know. Back in the day, No More Tears was my favorite Zach Ozzy song. These days it's Mr. Tinker Train. Mr. Tinker Train's good. That No More Tears album is really good. I still like No Rest for the Wicked. Just because it takes me back to my senior year in high school, you know? I mean, like every song on that. Crazy Babies, and you know, Mr. Tinker Train's cool though, because that's the opener on No More Tears, I think. And it's just a great way to start an album. So yeah. Good. Okay. Always thought it would kind of wild that Tomei, who filled in for Randy Rhoads for a few shows, Bernie's born date is March 18th and he died on March 17th, so close to Randy's passing date of March 19th. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. I was actually, I went on I think everybody probably went on an Ozzy kick recently. And yeah, I mean, it's too bad. I did see the day that Ozzy passed, so it said this happened today, and it was Ozzy and Randy, you're like reuniting. And I thought that was really cool, man, because I know that Ozzy was never the same after Randy passed away, you know, and that whole thing was just really too bad. And Randy Rhoads, fantastic guitar player. And man, you know, what a influence to us. And we're in high school to be able to, I was in what, fifth grade when that album came out. And I remember, like I said, going to my buddy Andy's house, and he had gotten Diary of a Madman, and we were sitting there just listening to it going, oh my God. And I remember that Randy's tone was so unique, and still is to this day. He had a unique tone. Dave Friedman says he doesn't like his tone. To be honest with you, I really don't like his tone either. It's very bright and brittle, but it's still Randy Rhoads. You know when it's Randy Rhoads. Like I bought that the 40th anniversary of Blizzard of Oz, and it's got those outtakes of licks of him just like noodling. God almighty, man. I mean, it just sounds awesome. It's just freaking fantastic. I was driving to work the other day, listening to that going, oh my God, you know? Metal Cop says agreed, leave the fine tuner tension plate in place. It's there for a reason. The fine tuner tension plate. Yes. The shim, the fine tuner tension plate. If you're not going to a bigger block, if you go to a bigger block, you really don't need it, because a bigger block fills in the same area as that tension plate. You can't remove the tension plate. The tension plate is the piece that comes up that is like, you know, and it moves when you use a fine tuner. That's a tension plate. Below that is a shim that puts backing on that tension plate to where it provides tension to the tension plate. It keeps it stiff. If you take that out and you just put your tension plate is going to go all over the place. So then you put that big brass block in there, and that provides the same support as that shim does, and then you're still in business. So yeah, you really, again, if you put the bigger block in the back, you don't need that shim there. You can just go, plate, tension plate, block, and then put your 3 screws back in to tighten up the block, and then you're back in business. There's nothing else there. Zach's Checkbot says the black and yellow Frankenstrat is with Dimebag. Yes, it buried with Dimebag, Daryl. That's correct, sir. So, yeah. Would have been cool to see Ed use that guitar a little more than what he did, but still cool. What is this? What is this? I don't know. The lathe on the stock is... The lathe on that stock is intriguing. Lathe. Please tell me what you're talking about. Please, 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 please. Is that a PV? Is this a PV? This is not a PV. I built this one. This is one of the ones that I built out in the garage. Parts, bought the parts, did the paint, did all that stuff. This is one of my builds. The bridge is a Floyd Rose original. 40, how could I tighten up fine tuner threading? Tighten it up? That's a tough one, bro. I mean, there's hit me up on email. Hit me up on email. I think I have a plan. Hey, Dan Gorman. Detroit. That's right. Detroit. Right. Thread in with a piece of fishing line? Nah, man. You know what I'm kind of thinking? I'm kind of thinking just a little bit of Loctite. Just like a little bit, to get in there and then tighten it up and see if that... Don't put too much. Just put like a touch. Put some on a toothpick and just stick it in there and see if that'll tighten that thread up. I mean, remember, if you have a metal thread like that, it's opening over time. It's going to open. So then you have to put a bigger, fine washer screw in there. You're gonna have to put something bigger in there to open that up. So I always like really loose ones. Maybe I prefer the loose, but yeah. I mean, if I personally had that problem, I didn't like it, I would probably go out in the garage and put just a little bit of Loctite on a toothpick and just touch it, and then and then start moving it and see if that gets something inside the threads to tighten things up a little bit, or maybe some plumber's tape. Cut like a small little piece of plumber's tape and wrap it around that and see if that does something. I don't know. I've never gone into that. Maybe trial and error on that one, buddy. Try to tighten that up a little bit. Geez, man, where's the time gone? I agree. Detroit will eat you up and spit you back out now. Yeah, I don't mess around. I don't mess around it. I go back and visit my parents, I go back and visit my parents, but then I don't go. I don't do much when I'm back there other than hang out with the fam. Here, my son is in the private chat. See here. You jump back in here. See here. Zims has the best shop. I need to get with Dane. I'm gonna do a video. I'm gonna do a show with him. I really like Dane a lot. Watch Dane's. He just posted a video. He bought a bunch of guitars. They had premiered this morning. I watched some of it, and then I started doing laundry and got bypassed. But I'll probably go watch the rest of that today too. So, no, this is not a Mexican Strat. This is a one I built. Dane bought some more nice guitars. Yes, new video out. I just spoke of that. Am I at in this damn thing? I don't even know where the hell I'm at. Yes, check out Dane's new video. Check out Dane's new video. I think I'm kind of behind in the chat. Let me catch up. Nice playing last night, Zach Thong. Good job. There's one more. There is one store worthwhile here, maybe more. Man, I just have a hard time. I have a hard time going in guitar shops. You know why? God, here we go. Talking to my dad this morning. Having a hard time for me personally at work right now. And I was thinking about it, thinking about stuff, and this goes to this just goes to society right now, in my opinion. It's my opinion. Trying to like train and mentor junior people, and the problem is I hit the nail on the head this morning as I was drinking my coffee, I think. Nothing is done, in my opinion. Some stuff is done. I shouldn't say nothing. I would say that we have a big problem right now of people doing things with, to the best of their ability, like with purpose, like doing things with purpose. Doing something and saying, "I'm going to do my best on this." Just seems like people are going through motions. They're just going through the motions. Do the bare minimum to get by, instead of saying, "Hey, I'm going to invest in this. I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to invest in the way I do things. I'm going to do things to the best of my ability." And, but I could be the old man on a soapbox right now going, "Those damn kids." But I would say that, in my opinion, you go in guitar stores now, bare minimum. Everything's just bare minimum. Nothing's cool, So that's kind of way I want to do my own shop, because I would surely do it with purpose. Yeah, set up shop, man. Wish I could, bro. Mr. BHB Jr., you are blacklisted. You desecrated Dimebag Darrell's grave. And I don't know what that means. Do I make my own strings? No. I use Ernie Ball 9 to 42. Usually I take out the 42 and make it a 40, and take out the 16 and make it a 15. That's the Eddie Van Halen strings that I got accustomed to using. The 5150s. Got a whole bag of those damn things now. The 5150s that I grew up playing, and I never got away from them. Let's see here. Air Nortons are great. I agree. Love them. No way, dude. My Bumblebee isn't what was made years after. Do I have any bad? That's a good question. Do I have any Badlands guitars? No, I do not. I have a Badlands pickup and the Joe Perry tribute that I built. I put that in the neck position, and it's a good sounding pickup. I did watch the new Badlands video, and I thought it was really good, where they were going through paint, and they're certainly set up for paint. So, and they got some they say like they got some cool guitars. Would I buy one? I don't know. If I was going to buy one, I would probably buy one pre-owned, because I just wouldn't want to pay all that money for something, and then I wouldn't want to pay all that money for something and then be disappointed. I'd rather buy it pre-owned and then be able to roll it. So I like their headstocks. I think their headstocks are cool. How they sit, even on side to side. So when you hang them, it hangs. I think that's a cool idea. I think that they're cool. I've never played one, but have you? Have you played one? I'd like to know how they play. I mean, I'm sure they probably play pretty good. Air Norton S is always for the win, Randy. You're 100% correct. Air Norton S is always for the win. What do I think about the Badlands brand? I think it's cool. I think they're cool. I think that what's that dude's name? Metal Tone King or whatever his name. Yeah, I mean that guy, he does cool stuff. He's got a cool backdrop on his show and stuff. I mean, got some I think he's got some cool BC Riches. I saw he's got some cool BC Rich stuff. Uh, Mr. Black. Well, if Floyd Rose 1000 fitted. I think I don't know. I because I don't know what a JT6 is. I don't mess around with those older Charvels. Usually I'm just Floyd Rose on Charvels, but I know that I've seen people swap those. I don't know if they work correctly. I think they might be tight. I think that your knife edges might be riding on the inside instead of center. So the best thing to do is always just try it and see if it works. And if not, you're gonna have to plug them. Where's my? I think that guitar is put away. I had to plug some, and on a Charvel that I have, I had to plug them and re-drill for a Floyd. So maybe not. The best thing to do is whatever that is check it. Hold on a second, Randy. A Floyd will drop in on JT6. Okay, so there you go. Randy says it'll drop in. If Randy says it'll drop in, it'll drop in. Okay. But if you're going to do stuff like that, what I've experienced is if you have a guitar that a good backup bridge on stuff like that is going to be an FU tone because it's got that flat side like the PV, so it'll ride wherever you want it. You may have a problem with your string alignment though. I don't know, but I do like those FU tone bridges in some instances because of the flat side. So instead of having it, knife edges on both sides, you have the bass side is flat. It runs flat. So Lewis says I was at the dollar store the other day and they had some yellow and some black mini guitar car air fresheners. I took a Sharpie and turned it into a tiger stripe pattern like the one behind you. So the Bengal. I love my Bengals, dude. That Bengal actually belonged to George. So I'm sure you guys have seen my video on that. I keep that one hanging. That one belonged to George. This is the LTD, which is actually, I forgot what this one is. This is the GL600 MT, which they stopped building these because they were too much like the M1. So I did a comparison video on this versus my M1, and I forgot what the differences were. But I know that this guitar, oh my God. I mean, it just plays freaking amazing. In perfect tune. I haven't touched this guitar in months. In perfect tune. Great guitar. Yeah, these GL600 MTs are cool, man. Thanks, Randy. Don't want to change the post. It's a Model 4. So that's what's cool about these channels, man. I mean, like you watch somebody's channel and you have a problem or something, you just let everybody know, hey, man, I got a problem. And usually we can help you figure it out pretty quick. See, I'm going back to my black guitar because this guitar just feels better. Crazy. Let's go. John DeShane's in the chat. What's up, dude? How you doing? Thanks for coming in. I was telling Randy I jumped in last night. You guys were gone. Bradley Wood asked Jimmy Biter. He bought several guitars from Japan. Jimmy Biter is Bradley Wood asked Jimmy Biter about his import fees because Jimmy Biter told me that it's not that bad. So check into that. Mr. BHB says caught the replay. Is a good show, so I'll probably go watch that today. Tulsa King is good. Okay, I'm getting ready to watch season 2 today. I think. See here, Kevin Braba. I want a graffiti. A Mr. Graffiti, a George Lynch. Good luck. I've been looking for one for years. Can't find it. Which sucks though, man, is my buddy had one. And I should have just offered to buy it. He had it, but it did have a Floyd, which it didn't have a Floyd. But I've seen him with Floyds, and I've seen him with banana headstocks. The original Mr. Graffiti had the Strat looking headstock with the flat, with that cut flat, and then it did not have a Floyd Rose, which I think it was. Oh, actually, the guy who sold me that guitar told me that was like 2 serial numbers away from Mr. Graffiti. That guitar, I'm pretty sure that's what he said. 1 or 2 serial numbers away from Mr. Graffiti. That guitar. That's a Craft House ESP, and I think I did a video on that guitar. But check it out. That's a 6 screw, and Lynch owned it. So yeah, it's a cool guitar. Hey, 40, those new Badlands Tiger prints look incredible. I think so too. I think those are really good paint jobs, and they look good. Very good. They look good. Warren is very hard to copy. I agree. But that's what made our era great, because they were all identifiable guitar players. What's his name? I was drinking my coffee yesterday before I went to work. Oh, Phil McKnight was on. I was watching him, and he was saying that the artist guitars are probably going to go away because, which he's probably right. Like, who's playing guitar now to where they would have an identifiable guitar? When we grew up, the guitar players had identifiable guitars, which is why I have a wall full of all of my identifiable guitars. Those are the guys that influenced me, and those are the guys that I thought were so cool. And I really don't. I think it's going to be very difficult to duplicate that time, because these guys today, you know, Phil McKnight's right. I mean, they just don't have identifiable guitars now. They just don't. No. But Warren is hard to copy in playing and in coolness and in cool guitars. So all those guys are they're just badass. Warren is 60 and lived most of his life of 10 men. He's a badass. He is. Warren's actually very reserved. I mean, like you know, that's why he kind of, you know, he's got a couple kids, and you know, his wife. I've spoke to his wife Kathy. I've you know, I got in really. I got to say that me and my buddy got in pretty good with them in the early 2000s, like when they were touring with Jizzy Pearl. We got in really good with Warren and Bobby Blotzer, and to the point to where we were on guest lists, and you know, Warren was just always very reserved and very family manish. So I think that you know, I think I'm sure he did, but I know he's surely a family man. Mr. Black says, lay it down solo and You're in Love. Fast as F, Lightning Blues, and clean playing. Yes. Awesome. Like, great album. Invasion of Your Privacy. Amazing. Greg M says, nice guitars. Lynch, Van Halen, Warren DeMartini. Yeah, man. Those are my guys. Vi's up there. Nuno was up there too, but I swapped it out because I took the Nuno down because I wanted to talk about it. But Nuno's, I put the Charvel up there. That Charvel Relic. That guitar plays great. That guitar plays awesome. Mr. Black says, sell me the Lynch Bones guitar. Yeah, I can't do that. Problem with selling anything is I got to look at it for a minute and go, okay, where am I going to get another? If I get rid of it, where am I going to get another? And the problem is you're not. That's a CWG, Chris Woods. And I actually have a cool video of George signing that guitar. And when I walked in, I had the case because it says Dokken on, or George Lynch or something on the case. I think it says, oh no, it's got the Dokken logo and it says George Lynch on the case. And I walked in and he goes, is that one of mine? And I was like, no. I said, I wish. And he goes, oh no, but this is one of them. And like, he started playing it, and I just sat there and talked to him. And he sat there and played my Bones. So Lynch just played that guitar, and I got video of it on the channel, so check that out. Saw the bones on my local Facebook marketplace recently. Yeah, I mean, but make sure make sure it's a good one, because they got the ones that look like a toy, and then they got the ones that look, you know, yeah. Darren, how can I tighten up a fine? I think I went over that. I was thinking to thread in some fishing. I think that's going to get messy. Yeah. Buddy, if you were local, I'd say bring your guitar over and let's figure it out. If you really want to tighten it up, come on over. We can figure it out. Lewis says, I was fortunate to see Ozzy. Oh, you had mentioned that. You saw Ozzy and Randy in concert on Diary Tour a month before Randy passing. Man, lucky you, bro. How cool is that? That's crazy cool. Very cool, Lewis. I agree. Kevin Bravo says, I'm thinking about getting a Paul Reed Smith Custom 24 with a Floyd, kind of pricey though. Buddy, I've tried the PRS, man. I just think that that's a niche. That's a group of people that play those, and I just cannot get into that. I mean, like, they seem like they play good. They seem like red or blue Loctite. I think the red is hardcore. Go with blue, and buddy, don't put a bunch on there, because you're gonna just take a toothpick and just put a little bit in there, and maybe that'll put some residual inside that, and see if that tightens it up a little bit. I would try that. You can try that. But red's the hardcore, I think, and blue is like the not so hardcore. So just do a little bit on a toothpick and stick it in there, and just a touch. Yeah, I good luck with that. I think that's if I was going to get a PRS, I would get a Floyd. Obviously, I like Floyds. Somebody was bad mouthing Floyd the other day. I watched a thing. Hey, the people that bad mouth Floyd Roses are people that are scared of them and they don't know how to work on them. Those are the guys that bad mouth Floyd Roses. They don't know what they don't know what they're doing. Because if you know what you're doing on a Floyd Rose, it's the best thing ever. Best thing ever. It's all in one package with a Floyd Rose. No. Just my opinion. I suggest to swap the loose one for a different one on the Floyd, maybe just to find one fine tuner. You could do that too. I was thinking about going and buying new ones and just putting them in there. But again, there's a bunch of different ways you could do it, buddy. I mean, like, you got, how many guitar players does it take to put in a light bulb? And that's why I said you just email me, because everybody's going to be giving you a bunch of different ways, and you can try them all. You can try them all. I just would go for the least expensive version first. And I may try to put, just run something in there to where to tighten it up just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So there's a million different ways to do it. So, you know what I'm saying? Bradley Wood says, don't use Loctite. It stays adjustable. I agree. I like loose. I don't think Loctite's going to goof anything up. I think if you put just a little touch on there, it might tighten everything up a little bit. But loose fine tuners, I'm okay with loose fine tuners. You're going to tighten it up a little bit. Maybe you just might want to go grab some new ones. They might be worn out, and put some in. That would probably be the best. That would probably be the best solution. Just go buy new fine tuners. Bradley Wood asked Jimmy Biter about the. Okay, am I going backwards? I don't think I am. It's because they're in a hurry and they get back to their phones. Oh yeah. You're probably talking about when I was talking about these kids, people these days. It's only E string. There is a D tune playing. I accidentally dropped D. Yeah, try a different fine tuner. Take it out and put a new one in. That's what I would do. It's only one. Try a little bit. It says Randy Price will do. What does it say? I'm sitting over 50 guitars right now. Plus, I've got 2 bills on my bench. At about 50, I need another guitar about as bad as I need another ex-wife. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sitting on 104, I think. 104, 105, something like that. I don't even know what it is right now. I'm not I don't need more guitars. I don't want more guitars. I agree, Mike. Everybody's agreeing. Bradley Wood, I've read on several ESP groups that the Edwards Lynch guitars are better than the LTDs. I've looked at the Edwards commies, but haven't pulled the trigger. I want one of those Edwards purple with the maple headstock. Dane, what's up, dude? I was just talking good about you. I played Phil McKnight's Badlands, guitar one day. He brought it into my store. And did it play good? I remember when I remember you telling me that he had brought it in. I'm sure that Phil McKnight sold it. By saying, hey, what's up? Johnny Rasmussen, what's up, dude? Hi, how you doing? Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Hello, Dane. Those are nice guitars you bought. I'm gonna go watch that. That Ernie Ball VH back there is the Grail. Yeah, that's a good one. That's an Axis though. I've got a black Ernie Ball. I got a black Van Halen right there. I got it not too long ago here locally. Mint. Turned out good. So Rico B says, "What's up, Zim? Zim's here. Zim was here. Billy, what's up, dude? Long time no see. How you doing? Hey, everything's good here, man. Just kind of going through talking about guitar stuff today. How long have I been on for? An hour and a half. Just talking some guitar stuff today. I got the day off, so I figured I'd jump in and see what you guys are doing and see if there's anything doing or what's going on. And that's it. Got some errands to go run today, so I'm gonna go run some errands, and yeah, that's it. I don't have anything else. I'm at the end of the thread. Appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for coming by. See you guys when I see you. I got nothing. I got really no. I got really no guitar stuff to see. Oh, the last thing I was going to talk about is the Area 67 pickup, which I think I talked about. And remember, about chasing guitars, one thing I've learned is when you go chasing guitars, you're just better off waiting, because it's going to fall in your lap eventually. Way too many situations now to where I'm looking for a guitar, I start chasing it, and you're going to pay too much for it. Guitars, usually when they're ready to fall in your lap, they fall in your lap. So that's just some silly advice. I was saying in my earlier post to use a product, use Vibratite. It stays flexible, unlike Loctite. Hey, yeah, I mean, like, hey, you guys, that's why I like getting everybody together. We can sit here and troubleshoot something like that. I think probably the best solution is probably just get a new fine tuner screw and see how that works. It's probably going to be better because those threads wear out. So, I think that's probably the move. There's a bunch of different ways you can do it, Darren. Ronnie says, right on. Dan, right on. Do I like the Wolfgangs? I think the R2 is a little too small for me. I was talking about, this is an R2. But you know what? It feels a lot different on this guitar than on the white or on the gray. The gray's right there. I took the gray down. It's in the case. It's in the white case, because I got that white one. I got it back from my buddy. He did all the frets on that guitar were jacked when I got it. So he did those stainless steel. So I took it down to my buddy, and he did a fret level. Atomic Guitars, Tim over at Atomic Guitars, Bravo Zulu. If you guys need anything in Phoenix, go see Tim. He's awesome. But the R2s, yeah. I think the R2s are a little small for me. I like the one at 11/16. I like one at 11/16. Billy, you into Yngwie at all? Yes, I like Yngwie. I've got all of his albums, and I listen to him every once in a while. Yngwie is good in small doses. There's times when you listen to Yngwie and you're like, oh, yeah, man, today's going to be an Yngwie day. But I do not listen to Yngwie on a regular basis. Darren says, thank you, Bradley. Darren, thanks for being here, bro. Billy, me and Mary Kay Stratocaster. Mary Kay is nice, dude. I like Mary Kay's. Bradley Wood says, good show, 40, got to run. I'm going to run. I got to go do. So, I appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate you guys all being here. I don't know when I'll get back on again. It probably, I'll probably do a live again. Still hot out in the garage, and I have zero interest in going back out there. So, what? What's the real story on the JB mod using the resistors and capacitor? The only thing I know about the JB is a JB the it was meant for a 250K. So resistors and capacitor. That JB was meant to be used with a 250K. I mean, like, that's using resistors and capacitors. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. I know about the tone pot or the volume pot was built off of 250. So that's about all I got on that one. So Billy, have a good day. Oh, okay. Hey, you guys take care of yourselves. Be good to each other. Be cool. Rico, would love to meet up. Hey, bro, we could do that. We could do that, man, for sure. Oh, the EVH mod. I'll be 100% honest with you, dude. I take those treble bleeds and shit out as soon as I get the guitar. I don't mess with any. If you need a if you need a treble bleed or something like that, if you're playing at lower volumes, you need something like that, then that's good. The EVH mod, I'm not sure if I'm very familiar with that because I don't usually on my strats, on my single coils, I do like capacitors. I do like softening up my my tone so it doesn't get so muddy. There's I think I've done a show on capacitors and stuff like that. What I prefer. But yeah, I usually pull that stuff out. So I usually take the tone out and I put a kill switch in it, and then I just wire everything up. Yeah. So not very familiar with the EVH. I actually, you know what? To be honest with you, I'll look that up today. The EVH mod. It's probably a treble bleed, and it's probably to give the guitar more more flexibility is what I think. So they have more of a flexible guitar. Dan, thanks 40. No problem, dude. Hey, pleasure being here. Thanks guys for jumping in. I appreciate it. Super cool. Thanks for being here. And let's see. Hey, Randy, if you know something about that, hit up Kevin Brava. I don't know anything about that. And Darren, if you haven't hit the thumbs up, hit it now. Yeah. Hit the thumbs up, guys, if you get a chance. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Appreciate you guys being here. And if you have any questions, you can always email. Randy's going to explain something to me, so I look forward to that. But again, if it's got to do with resistors and capacitors, how many guitars in Eddie Van Halen's guitars did we see a resistor or capacitor? The answer is 0.0. So I will see you guys on the next one. I don't know when it's going to be. So deuces, and I will see you guys later. Peace out.